Hello there, internet. Basically, usually with my knitting, whenever I work with multiple colors, I usually just do stripes. I don't do anything fancy, but I figure I want to do things that I don't usually do. And this is a tangled mess, but that's what happens when you work with color work. Okay, so this is the sweater that I was making, and I was like, well, I kind of like some of the ideas, but not here. So I think that for the third time, I'm going to have to rip out a lot of this sweater. And I thought, you know, I should just stop knitting and then ripping things out. It's a sweater, for God's sake. I know that I made my little sample patch before, but I hadn't worked out what I was gonna do for the whole sweater, and I was just winging it, and I felt like, you know, that's not a good idea. So I felt maybe I should use a smaller project, not a sweater, and then I can experiment with color change or color work there. I decided that I was going to make a tube scarf, and I felt like it was a good idea because when you work with color change, you have this whole nonsense on the other side. These are called floats, I think. And with the tube, it's like, you know, 360 degrees. All of it is the right side. So there's no wrong side. So this is what I'm doing. I'm doing this like bright green and navy blue. The problem is that it's kind of not laying flat, like right here. So I don't know what's going on. Hi, internet. So today is the 12th of August, Friday. Earlier today, I just want to show you that I finished making this infinity scarf, which I was knitting during my Stitch and Bitch video when I was complaining about the coverage of the Olympics, which still bothers me, by the way. Oh my God. It's like we have the best women's gymnastics team in the history of American gymnastics. And how does NBC show their appreciation, how they show their admiration for this team? They do it by centering the sport around fucking swimming. Whatever. As I said, today is the 12th, and I randomly thought, hey, I remember back a few months ago, I briefly considered maybe I should get my associates in fashion knitwear design, and I considered that until I looked at the website for FIDM, FIDM, Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. I went on that, I looked at how much it would cost to get that, and I said no, not worth it whatsoever. But from my visit to this website a few months ago, I remembered that it said that there was going to be an open house in August, and then I just thought a few minutes ago, oh right, it's August, that open house is probably coming up. Let me check it out. Look at that. It's tomorrow. And Nick from Project Runway's gonna be there. That should be exciting, and admission's free, so I will tell you about that. And since I finished this, I'm gonna have to put a new project on the needles so that I'll have something to knit while I'm there. It is Saturday, August 13th. So yesterday, when my roommate came home, she said, oh, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to the city. And I said, oh, that's funny because I'm going to San Francisco too. And she said, well, I'm going to leave early in the morning. And even though the open house starts at 11, I said, well, I'm going to leave early in the morning too. So basically she's going to drive me to Daly City, which is where she's going to meet up with her friend at 8:45. And it is 8:10. I need to shower and stuff. So I think that I'm going to just eat breakfast and stuff there in San Francisco. And I have nothing to knit, and I don't know how I feel about what I'm doing here. These here are supposed to look like hearts, and when my roommate saw it, she said she didn't see it. There's too much puckering that it didn't look like hearts. I'm going to wear this sweater that I bought off of Etsy, which is inside out. It's crocheted You see, sometimes I go on Etsy for like knitting and crocheting inspiration, but then I saw this and I was like, it's $11. It's a nice color. Okay. And yeah, beautiful. So yeah, I will bring my camera, this one. Hello, so I'm in Daly City. My roommate recently dropped me off, and I feel very weird doing this in public. Oh right, this is what I'm wearing, by the way. So sweater, green pants, and shoes. And it's pretty cold out here. Not super cold, but holy shit, it's summer. I went on the 6th floor where they had like all of the majors that you could explore, and that's where I found out that fashion knitwear design was only offered in LA, and that's when I got a little bit less interested in FIDM. And I didn't want to be confrontational about it or anything, but you know, I wanted to know if they taught about like ethics, like sweatshops, environmentally friendly clothing, that sort of thing. The alumni there who was talking to me, she said that they mention it in textiles class, but she said it's not a huge focus. I guess ideally, I'd also like to study apparel design, and I'd also like to study the arts and crafts, the fiber arts, because I don't want to just make things that are pretty. I want to learn more about using my craft to actually say something. And I'd also like something that would be focused on like ethical fashion or ethical crafts. I wouldn't be interested whatsoever in working in fashion if I was going to perpetuate all of the problems that made the industry distasteful to me. Oh right, and my closet door is open, and you can see over here my sweater. I actually filmed a clip after I finished sewing everything together, but then was not able to share it in the last Knitting Diaries video because that clip got corrupted. And as you can see, I do not like weaving in the ends, and I had a lot to deal with because this is striped. And this is what it looks like inside out, by the way. So I'll just turn it right side in. This is what it looks like from the front. There's little bits of yarn sticking out. And here's what the sleeve looks like from the other side, from the back. So my latest project is this. Anyway, I'm pretty glad that I went to FIDM this month, even though I kind of knew that that probably wasn't the school for me, but I was still very open-minded. I still went, and I think that I might visit more art schools. But to be clear, I'm not actually planning on going to art school. I just figure that it's best to check it out, see if it might possibly be for me. But no, I understand why parents just go faint, they go weak in the knees when their child says, I want to go to art school, because oh my god, I could go to like one of the top law schools in the country and I'd probably pay less than if I were to go to art school. But you know, I was always somebody who said, I don't want just one major. I wish I could take 10 majors in college. Although if I did that, I'd probably graduate by the time I was 40 or something and be hundreds of $1,000s in debt. But you know, I was always very curious. That's why it took me forever to get through college, because I was just picking around in all these different subjects, and you know, I thought if that class is interesting, I don't really care if it doesn't fit any of the requirements. I want to take it, and I took it, and I'm glad for that, because I know that people go through college and they think I just got out with a piece of paper, and I don't feel like that at all. People have asked me if I want to go to grad school before. Right now I'm not thinking about that, but I was thinking of if I could manage like an associate's in like some sort of fashion, hopefully knitwear, that won't like put me in debt, maybe I'll consider that. But I'd also be interested in like a second or third or fourth or fifth bachelor degree in like psychology or sociology, history, or even anthropology. I loved all of the social sciences. I couldn't get enough of them. I was always somebody who put the art on the back burner because I felt like I need to learn more about the world, and then I'd have something to say that I could then put into art. But it's a little bit different when it comes to like fashion. Like if I were writing books or painting or whatever, then yes, I could incorporate like, you know, different themes and stuff into that. But right now the struggle for me is that knitting is just pretty but not meaningful. At least for me. I would like to be able to create a meaningful work of art that could be thought-provoking and not just, oh, that's pretty, but I'm not there yet. So yes, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.